So this is Filebeat. Oh, so we got to do install service first. So let's do that. I was like, okay, where's the rest of this crap? All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to paste. This should work. Well, it won't work because we're not in the correct directory. So ignore me. It's about to work, though. It's about to work, folks. We'll do it in here. You know why it won't work? Because there's a frickin' space. Here we go. Now we'll run it again. Don't like it. Cannot be loaded because running scripts is disabled. Let's see. Set execution policy bypass. Yes to all. Execute. Didn't like it. So why is it being silly? Let's see. Cannot be loaded because scripts. So I wonder why it's. Oh, we're not elevated. That's probably why. So give me a second. Sorry, folks. Uno momento. So we're going to CD over here. Paste. Again. Because I forgot quotes. There we go. And now we're going to do this in a second. We're going to say set execution policy bypass. Yes to all. Then we're going to paste. Magic. All right. Status stopped Filebeat. Why did it stop, I wonder? Okay. Interesting. All right, so that's going. Let's see. From PowerShell, run the phone. If the execution is disabled, oh, it's telling us to do it here. Important. The base of the folder has changed. The install script will check whether exits and move it to Filebeat data for more detail. I wonder if it failed because we were in the folder. Let's try it one more time. Let's get rid of this because I hate having to collect 50 screens. Nope. But we'll take this. I think it's not working because it keeps saying stopped, and I don't understand that piece. Set the host. Filebeat can set the host and port where Filebeat can find the Elastic installation. And set the username and password of a user who is authorized to set up Filebeat. If you plan to use your pre-built Kibana dashboards, configure Kibana. Skip the step if Kibana is running the same host as Elastic. So skip step 2 or step 1. Let's see. Enable and configure collection modules. So let's list the modules. Let's move them there, and then I guess we got to run it here. So we'll run it here. Cannot find the file specified. Really? Oh, because because we have to create our file. So let's do that. And what we'll do is open this up, and we're going to change the file name. We're going to save it as not copy, not example. We'll save it as filebeat.yaml. This should be that configuration file. You don't have permission to save to this location. Contact the administrator to obtain permission. Really? Is it really going to make me open it up as admin? That's so funny. All right. Hang on. Hang on, people. So let me do this. Run as administrator. This should give us the permissions. We'll do a open, and we'll just find our way to it. So I'm doing this really clunky because I'm just trying to get this stuff to work. I would definitely take a lot more care if I were doing this in a real environment. So be sure of that. We're just trying to get it to work ASAP more than anything. So we need to change this to all files. And here we go. This should do it. Now let's change the file name. There we go. All right. So what happened was basically we tried to modify. We opened it up as a normal user. It wouldn't let us because it's protected by an admin. So what I did was just open Notepad as administrator, which gave me the ability, gave me write access to the file, and thus we did that. Now we have to figure out how we want to configure this. So let's do that. Let's see. I want to send my Windows logs. Let's see. Here we go. So Filebeat. Let's see. And we'll do this. And we'll add these. See if this helps. And what else does it say? And then for Windows, start service Filebeat. Load assets, run E to load index templates and dashboards. All right, so let's do this first. Filebeat test E. And it says it should be okay, no errors. Let's see, extract Filebeat, run, and then let's do start service Filebeat. Let's do that. So we could probably throw it in here. I could recognize that that was a PowerShell command. Now, what we should have, explore on my own, Elasticsearch. So we can upload files manually if we wanted, but we also want it automatically pulling in the logs for us so that when we are doing funky stuff, we can look at it. So let us play. Let's see, do I need to do anything else for it to show up in an index? Let's see. We got to be missing something here. So we did that. I thought we ran setup E, and all I did was check Filebeat test config E. No, we didn't do the setup E. All right, so let's do setup E first. So many things, people, so many things. We're going to get it. I feel it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it, folks. We got this. If we don't get an error, maybe we did it right. See, it says PowerShell, run this. You know what? We may need to stop service. So there we go. It's doing some stuff, and then we might have to start the service again. All right, so let's start the Filebeat service again. We should be started. We did the install. Now we reload indexes. We reload indexes. And it should be there. I don't know. So I would expect it to work now, but who knows? All right, so setup, start service, look, then go here, look for index or data streams. So there should be a data stream starting with this. I'm not sure. Data retention is disabled. Last updated never, storage size 0, 1 indices. So it is showing as an index. Interesting. So we were clicking and running and it didn't load, but it is there. So we have an index. We have an index. All right. Now, I didn't do anything. It just started working, by the way. It's there. So now we need to go to Discover. We may have to do this other stuff, but let's see if it's in Discover. Let's see. Boop, boop, right here. There should be a search box somewhere where we can start searching for stuff. What we have accomplished so far is that we have Elastic up here. We have Filebeat running. Now, we just have to see if we can find the logs. So it should, maybe I didn't save it last time. We might have to start and restart the service here. But let's see. Open this in new tab. I want to see if it has an ingestion rate or how big the index is. And that'll let us know if it's actually getting logs in. So here it's not showing us the logs, but in data streams when we clicked Filebeat, so somehow we got to where there was a Filebeat, oh here it is, indices. And I don't know why there is a file stream indices here and we didn't see it different. Let's go check it out. Storage, 935 documents, 1 data stream. Cool. So it should be working. Gonna get logs? Give me some logs. Give me some logs. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. We have logs, everyone. We got them. All right. Woo. All right. Now, we are getting there. So the problem was that I forgot to save my updated Filebeat. So let me explain a couple of things before I lose everyone. So with Filebeat, you have to specify what logs you want to collect, and which we did right here. So we told them which ones we want. The issue is you'd probably have to look up like how to format what type of logs you want. And that's kind of the big thing that you need to do. Right now, we see security logs, system logs, win event logs, and whatnot. What we don't have in here is our Sysmon and our PowerShell logs. I don't think. So we'll update it to include that. And then we should be good. So let's update our Filebeat to include those logs that we're missing. And then we'll take a peek, make sure they're in here. Let's ask it update Filebeat YAML to include Sysmon and PowerShell script logging logs. This is the power of ChatGPT, right? We solved a lot of this with ChatGPT just because we're lazy. So Sysmon. So actually, cool. It's kind of cool that you can do a shortcut here, but we'll add these to our current configuration, and then we'll stop and restart the process and see if we don't get those logs. So let's go ahead, do this, and save it, most importantly. And now we're going to stop service and then restart. And my guess is the reason why we have to stop and restart is because once you start the service, it loads in the current configuration file and it doesn't reread it, I would guess. And then when you restart it, reads the configuration and starts utilizing that again. So that's probably why we have to stop and start the service. Well, let's go ahead and check to see if we can find these in a second. So let's do, I forget the formatting here. So we're just going to choose we're going to choose an event code, and then we're going to modify it to 4104, which is our script block logs. And if they're in there, we know we did what we needed to do. Right now, Elastic is hating me. So we'll give it a second. I probably just need to allocate some more resources here. 4104, so we got them. Look at that. So, and we have ones, which are the Sysmon ones. So now we have Sysmon. Now we have PowerShell. Now we have all the other Windows logs. And we have what we want. How about that? We got a bunch of logs. So there we go. We're done. Let's call it a day. Out of here. Something to point out. Look how many logs are in here. Look how many logs. So over 5,000, which really isn't that bad for one day. A few thousand isn't that bad. But now imagine this multiplied by thousands. So a lot of times you'll see more than gigabytes. You'll see terabytes of flow. So a lot of times with SIMs, they'll calculate flow of logs, and that's how people get billed. It just depends on the SIM. Some don't bill by flow, but a lot do. But it's flow, storage, and a few other things. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, you're talking about terabytes of data flowing every day. And so it's a lot of data. So you have to be really careful with what logs we turn on. So if you're ever wondering, why don't we just turn on all the logs? How come I only see a handful of the available logs? Is because they eat up a lot of space. Like we have a fairly narrow set of logs here for this host. Pretty narrow, but it's still eating up this much space. So 5,700 isn't that bad. We should be fine with that. But we can start turning on more and more stuff. There's some fun free EDR tools we could probably add in here and do stuff with lots of cool stuff here. So, all right. So with that, let's call it a wrap. So do the like, share, subscribe thing. We'll be on this almost every Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. my time, and whatever time yours is. My time's Eastern time. But check that out. And yeah, until next time, we'll see you around. Happy hacking. Everyone, take care.